Yo, what's up, guys? In today's video, I got a bunch of Chicago Bulls news and topics I'm going to talk about and break down. But before I jump into today's video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Also, leave a quick like below today's video. It takes a second and it helps me out a lot. And some comments and questions below today's video. I'm going to be breaking down a bunch of topics and some articles and some tweets that have just came out. Also, check out my last video if you guys missed it. I was given a bunch of big injury updates heading into the NBA playoffs. I was also talking about how a Bulls insider does expect a first round exit. And speaking of the NBA playoffs, you know, of course, last night the Bulls played a great game against the, I'd say, Minnesota Timberwolves. And yesterday, the Boston Celtics did win their final game of the regular season. So that does mean the Chicago Bulls will take on the defending NBA championship Milwaukee Bucks in the first round of the NBA playoffs. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about that. Just your opinion on this whole first round matchup. Because in my eyes, you know, it definitely sucks. I mean, the Bucks just won a championship last year. And Giannis is Giannis. I really don't feel like anyone in the NBA can really stop him besides himself. But either way, I'm just happy the Bulls did make the playoffs. You know, it's looking like the Bulls have been resting their players for the past few games now. Hopefully everyone is going to get dialed in and ready for the NBA playoffs, because nonetheless, say the Bulls do get swept, this is going to be a good learning experience for this team. I mean, half this Bulls roster has never played a playoff game, so it's going to be great for the young guys and everyone like that. You know, it definitely sucks. I feel like we don't match up that well against the Bucks, but either way, I'm just excited and happy the Bulls are back in the NBA playoffs. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about the Bulls facing the Bucks in the first round. But now onto the main topic in today's video, because let's be honest, since the All-Star break, this Bulls team has not looked the same. There's been a lot of talk about players being frustrated. You know, there's even been some Bulls fans and media people calling the Bulls out and Billy Donovan asking if he's the right coach for this team. Especially as of late, you know, these past maybe 1 to 2 weeks, the effort just hasn't been there, you know, and this team is pretty much mainly healthy. I mean, I know the Bulls are missing our point guard in Lonzo Ball, and I did believe Lonzo Ball was the main X factor for this team. I think it's obvious the Bulls are going to miss his defense and three-point shooting badly in the NBA playoffs. But, you know, put all the injuries aside this season, the last few weeks, the effort just hasn't been there, especially against the Miami Heat, the Bucks game, and the Celtics game, and even the Hornets game just the other day. You know, there's been a lot of talk on Twitter. You know, huge shout out to Chicago Bulls Talk on Twitter. He did put out this tweet saying how the Bulls are arguably playing like one of the worst teams in the NBA right now, and I agree. That's why I feel like their Bulls are going to have a busy offseason coming up. You know, obviously, unless they have a big, I'd say playoff series versus the Milwaukee Bucks, but let's be honest, that's probably highly unlikely. The Bulls don't match up well against the Bucks, and they really haven't played them that well for the past few games. But Chicago Bulls Talk did continue on Twitter, and he said no chance Arturas and Mark Eversley can stand pat this offseason and make limited moves. We need to make major changes to this roster because it's not just against elite NBA teams anymore. The Bulls are barely beating average and bad teams right now, and I agree. I don't know what happened and what flipped the switch. You know, before the All-Star break, this team was looking like a true contender. They were playing great basketball. They were fun to watch. But since the All-Star break and the injuries, I feel like this team is just not focused. They're not dialed in. I don't know what happened. You can blame coaching. You can blame Billy Donovan not keeping these players focused or whatever. But I do expect a really busy offseason from the Chicago Bulls. I mean, there was a lot of trade rumors surrounding, or I'd say around the NBA trade deadline with the Bulls. Obviously, they were connected to Jeremy Grant. There was a lot of trade rumors, including Coby White, Patrick Williams, and Vuce, especially as of late. Vuce has been really up and down this season, and especially as of late, you know, I'll try to throw up this tweet that I saw. He has been playing awful basketball. And to be quite fair, if the Bulls are going to have any chance in the NBA playoffs, and especially against the Bucks, Vuce is going to go. He's going to need to be the All-Star that he was with the Magic. Vuce has been so up and down this season. I don't know what's been wrong with him, especially his three-point shooting. It's just been awful. So definitely let me know below today's video if you guys are expecting a busy offseason from the Chicago Bulls front office, because I am. You know, a huge shout out to another Bulls insider on Twitter. He continued and he said the Bulls are currently playing like a team that has no heart, or you know, they just don't care to win. It's so baffling on many levels. It might be time for them to look in the mirror, or it might be time in the offseason to get some new dogs on this team. And I agree, this team definitely needs some more dogs. I feel like this team is kind of soft. And he did continue, you know, like many Bulls fans and NBA insiders have talked about for a while now, or to find out if Billy Donovan is the right coach for the Chicago Bulls. And I agree with everything. You know, I am frustrated as well as a huge Bulls fan. I mean, a Bulls insider, Joe Cowley, just the other day or a few, weeks back, he did put out this article. You know, since the Bulls have struggled since the All-Star break, you know, to start the season, the Bulls core and Big Three and roster seemed really well. I mean, it was a great start to the season. And he continued and he said how the struggles recently could lead to AK calling all bets off this offseason and making some big trades and some big moves. And he did say, you know, an early playoff exit could see a summer of movement for Arturas, Mark Eversley, and the Chicago Bulls. And I agree. I don't really know what more to say. I know I kind of just keep repeating myself, but for the past few weeks now, it's just been unacceptable. It's been a joke. It's kind of reminded me of the Jim Boylan losses here and there. You know, Joe Crowley did continue. You know, a Bulls fan did ask him, you know, do we trade Vooch or anyone in this offseason? And he said, I think anything and everything is in play this offseason, and I agree. I mean, you've seen how busy and how aggressive Arturas and Mark Eversley have been for about 1 to 2 years now. He continued and said, AK isn't running this back is my gut feeling, and I agree. That wouldn't surprise me if we do trade Vooch. You know, Vooch is on an inspiring contract for next season, and that is a ticket that can be cashed. You know, maybe pair, I'd say, Vooch with Coby White or a future draft pick, maybe to upgrade the center position. I don't know. All I got to say is the effort for these past few weeks haven't been there, and this team has been pretty much mainly healthy other than Lonzo. And for most of this season, even when all the injuries did hit, for most of the Chicago Bulls games this season, the Bulls have had 3 All-Stars on the court, and they haven't beat any NBA elite teams. I think the end of season, versus like the top elite teams in the NBA, the Bulls were like, what, 0-16 or 0-17 or something like that, and that is ridiculous. Even teams like the Detroit Pistons, you know, a tanking team that is, just let's just be honest, probably the worst team in the NBA. Even them, I saw they have like 2 to 3, I'd say, wins against elite NBA teams. I don't know what it is. You know, I'm still excited for the NBA playoffs. As long as the Bulls have a competitive first round versus the Bucks, I'll be happy. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about all the topics. Obviously, the Bulls matching up against the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. What you guys expect Arturas, Mark Eversley, and the Bulls front office to do in this offseason. Say the Bulls do get swept. Hopefully, Zach LaVine still wants to come back. I know there's been a lot of talk about how Bulls fans don't want to pay Zach the max contract and how he might even need, I'd say, left knee surgery for this upcoming offseason. Either way, thank you guys for watching today's video. Thank you guys for all the love on the channel. Definitely check out all my past videos. I'll definitely probably have another video out in a couple days covering the whole Bucks versus Bulls playoff series. I'll do a full breakdown and injury update for that. But either way, thank you guys again for all the love on the channel. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.